Hi Taurus, here is a general look at your solar chart for October 2014. Now, if you have listened to my other video about October 2014, you will understand a little bit more about the eclipses due in October. There's going to be 2 of them. And also the configuration in the sky, the grand trine. It's a fiery grand trine. And I've spoken about that, and there's probably a link to it here or down there. So there's going to be these two eclipses. One is happening on October the 8th and the other is happening on October the 23rd. The lunar eclipse is on October the 8th, and this is happening in an area for you which is quite a background, but it's a very personal area. It's to do with emotional shifts, but it's also to do with the past, and it's to do with, it's a karmic area. It's debts due and owed, so kind of finishing things off maybe, but also because an eclipse energy is an energy of potential improvement and change, then this sort of new wave should be rushing in. And if you are aware of it, then you can shift the gears into the position that you would like to go in now, or rather move the wheel if you don't have a stick shift, which you might not if you're across the pond. Then you know you're just steering more in the direction, or taking the road which is maybe the road less traveled, but it's the more scenic route. I mean, I don't know. But it is the moment for adjustments and going to the next level, and this may have kicked off with the new moon, or it may have been ongoing with the new moon at the end of September, the beginning of October, and at the time of the new moon, end of September, beginning of October, there may have been a gear change there, a moving to the next sort of level there, or the next chapter, or whatever it is there. And then this again is yet another, maybe even more major one going on here, but it's not like huge, it's just an opportunity here. And use what you've learned from your experiences or the events earlier on in the year to step into new things, and thus change your signal so that the receivers out there are different ones maybe, or receiving you differently. So change your signal on something so that you're just radiating, you're giving out a different blip, you know, you're giving out a different sort of blip on the radar screen of life, as it were. And this will draw to you who or what you need on that new signal frequency, which can be quite surprising, because as a matter of fact, this lunar eclipse connects with planet Uranus, which is the energy of revolution and awakening and change. So the fresher you feel around any of those historical things, but also to do with work and health. This is also connected in with work and health and higher service. The more you are connecting in with that in a fresh, sort of turning over a new leaf kind of a way, then the more benefit you will receive from this eclipse. And it's not just you alone who's got to be creating this energy, because the energy is already created. It's just the using of it, it's the working with it. As it is with all astrology, it's always my hope that in explaining some of the vibrational weather around, that we can get a grasp of how to bend it, mold it, shape it, harness it, you know, use it in the best way we can. So the universe will create from it. The universe is always creating. The universe does nothing but create. In fact, creation creates constantly and expands constantly, and so will manifest events or conditions which cross your path and which force or encourage new growth in your life. Now, the second eclipse is the solar eclipse on October the 23rd, which can be seen throughout North America, I believe. Check on that. And that one is also quite a special one, quite singular, in that it conjuncts Venus, which is really rather nice. Now, this is in your opposite sign, where you've had this very heavy, harsh, demanding and challenging planet Saturn since October 2012. And so this one here will be the the writing on the wall in completing your Taurus Scorpio lessons. So that's to say your IU lessons. You know, is it me or is it the lessons of 2014 around important relationships in your life, but also property possessions, your deeper passions, your deeper connections, and going back into your deep past maybe as well. And you should have sifted through what is of most value to you over the preceding months, not only in another or in a setup, but in yourself. Sometimes through adverse situations which didn't go quite that well, you know, not as you'd ordered them to go, which helped you to understand more clearly, though, what is less meaningful or more worthwhile at this stage in your life. And it may be the result of some deeper self-inquiry forced upon you, perhaps, but also you digging deeper in yourself, you reaching deeper, you being more stoical, you stepping up to the plate, you know, to sort of like going the extra mile, going to the nth degree, related to important relationships, but also around ownership, guardianship, debts, due or owed, moral obligations, contracts, and as I say, deep emotional attachments. Now, in amongst all of this is the grand fire trine, which is definitely good news. And this is truly a gift through late September and early October. It's very inspiring, very creative, very enterprising. It's full of promise. It's full of potential. It can renew hope for the future. This is a launch pad of energy, and it is very much underpinning, launching into a new chapter, a new project. It's healing and freeing. It's definitely the rabbit out of the hat. If you've been waiting around for a little bit of magic to come into your life, this is the moment to take a leap of faith. And this will be around in the earlier part, you know, it'll be around, as I said, in the earlier part, particularly over the eclipse time of October the 8th, the lunar eclipse, this extraordinary energy of change and inspiration. So this promising configuration, use it well, because it does actually collide a little bit with the Uranus-Pluto, long-term Uranus-Pluto transit, which has been causing so much tension and conflict and upheaval and revolution and breakdown, and letting go of old stuff in our world. So there will be a tiny price to pay on this, which is like, okay, I'm having to let this go, but I'm letting it go as like this is the tax on many, many wonderful new things coming my way, which is definitely going to be worthwhile. And it always depends on the emphasis of these transits in your natal chart to get a clearer picture of how these cycles may be panning out in your life at the moment. Now, what else is going on in October? Well, until the 23rd, it's time for you to make yourself useful. There might be stack of papers gathering dust in the corner that you finally got to attack. There could be more chores or niggly details. There could be issues around maintenance and repairs. There also could be, you know, you looking more into having more sensible diet or exercise routine. Until the 11th, communications, personal, professional, in close interactions, collaborations will be highlighted, and you'll probably be bouncing ideas around with someone, and you may be intrigued or less than impressed by somebody else's opinion. You yourself, you could be seen as the information giver, guide to others, advisor, but also this is a good time to go to and get to somebody that you can trust or that you hire for advice, who can be the go-between for you. But then Mercury goes retrograde on the 11th and retrogrades back into Libra, focusing your mind more upon daily schedules, chiming in more there with the sun, the to-do list, repairs, maintenance, health, diet, exercise, that kind of thing. Could be somebody else's health as well. thinking about the mechanical details of daily life will definitely be a keynote. And you could be held up on things. Things take longer than you thought. Messages aren't clear or didn't get through. You've got to go over something again, maybe there, due to the retrograde. And then until the 24th, Venus is in a more practical mood, favorably highlighting teamwork regarding daily chores, health matters. So you'll be whistling while you work a little bit. You'll be getting some very useful help there in any of those areas there, whether it's work, health. Others could be in a very cooperative frame of mind, ready to pitch in, roll up their sleeves, help you get organized, or you getting organized together, or indeed you are the one that is helping somebody else get organized, and helping somebody to recover or repair or to maintain something. And the interaction would tend to be pleasant, whether it's from you or to you. And then from the 24th, Venus goes into her favorite place, and very much there should be a boost in all your personal relationships, or important relationships, I should say, which is in a personal way. You know, you could be bonding there with somebody or bouncing ideas around it. Definitely a nice feeling of ease and flow in your relationship area, whether that's to do with personal things or professional things. And then from the 23rd, the Sun moves into that same area where it's better, you know, two heads are better than one. It's not a time to be going it alone. It's there is the time to collaborate, to team up. You feel a lack if there isn't the opportunity to do that. So, you know, you're getting on the phone, you're getting on Skype or whatever, because you just feel that this is a time when you need somebody else to mirror what you're thinking about or what's happening. And there's more of a feeling of mutual interaction or attraction at this time, likely. Until the 26th, Mars is in the sector of your chart, which is clearing the decks for a new beginning. So there's a lot maybe that you're keeping in and have been keeping inside of yourself over September and up until the 26th in October. But this is the transition area. This is when you go from one stretch of road to the next, as it were, emotionally or financially. But just feeling as though you've got to keep your cards close to your chest about certain things with certain people for certain reasons. It is to do with property matters as well, and debts due or owed, whether those are moral ones or financial ones, and you feeling your way forward, but you're keeping quite stum about things, you wondering about this or that, you weighing it in the balance. However, you tend not to want to put all your cards on the table at this time. But then from the 26th, it's different. It's very different. You kind of bust out. You're more outgoing. You're more confident. You're more expansive. You can put your cards on the table, as it were. And at key points over that transit there, which will be going on throughout the whole of November, you'll be reaching out for new horizons, and you should be putting yourself in fresh, getting out of the box, you know, really getting fresh experiences, signing up for something, or traveling, or launching a new scheme or enterprise, or, you know, whatever it is. It's a journey of discovery time, and you being on quite a learning curve there, gathering the information you need, getting the pieces of the puzzle maybe, but getting right out the side of the envelope of daily life and the routine box by stretching yourself mentally and physically. That would be a very good idea there. And then you will be you're going to be benefiting from the support of somebody else in close relationship, but you will also have to be mindful that you are still in the very tail end of this very, very long Saturn transit in your opposite sign, Scorpio. And, you know, it can be a tricky one sometime, because it puts a certain heaviness in that area there of pressures or demands where you have to be you got to see to your obligations there, or you have to take the hit when you feel that you've fallen short of your obligations in that important relationship area, whether that's working or, you know, personal relationships. And sometimes you feel inhibited, sometimes you feel like it's unfair, but all times you have to compromise, and you come more into your own power slowly as you realize that what you thought was the correct approach or the correct behavior or even the correct relationship isn't. And there is room for improvement there. This eclipse is probably going to help you to make those improvements on the 23rd, in fact, over the 6 months or even the year to come. But this is definitely a make or break aspect, and you will have to be mindful of the lessons that it's teaching you about yourself and about your historical way of coming at things in this area here, to do with important relationships, one-to-one, personal connections with another, and alliances. So take the lesson and move on without bearing a grudge, because then if you bear the grudge, you carry it with you. You know, it's a weight in you all the time. It's a weight on your back all the time. And you Taurians born in the last 10 days or with 19 to 25 degrees rising are going to feel that energy the most this month. And then in conclusion, Jupiter has begun his new cycle in your home area, highlighting expansion, not very far from home, really. Or if it is far from home, it's somewhere that you can get access to, that you kind of prefer. And it is your place on the map, it's property matters, it's neighbors, it's a community, and you feeling that you are benefiting and benefiting them as well. So it's a two-way street, and you are learning a lot. You begin to feel more anchored where you are with the community or the family, the locality, and inwardly balanced emotionally. And that sounds like altogether a good thing. This is a long transit. It will be in this area here until next August. And it's a good time for you to be adding to your existing space or changing it around so you get more of a feeling of space, or indeed, if you do relocate, then making sure that you have those nice views, you know, because Jupiter is all about space. And this is a good time to move, and you can do well from a move if you are looking to move and relocate altogether. And you Taurians born in the second 10 days or with 15 to 21 degrees rising are going to be feeling this energy the most, or the beginning of the last 10 days as well. You'll be feeling the energy the most this month. And that's it for October. If you know your rising sign and your moon sign, listen to those. And also just take from it whichever bits sort of resonate with you, and you know, ditch the rest. And I'll see you again the next time.